So somebody was talking, well, I don't support Black Lives Matter. So the thing about Black Lives Matter and why people shouldn't trust Black Lives Matter is because Black Lives Matter is not pro-black. Black Lives Matter is basically it's ran by black people and they tackle black subjects, but Black Lives Matter is really dangerous because see, when we have problems in the black community or the black world, what will happen is Black Lives Matter will always stick themselves out in front of the situation. Like, yeah, Black Lives Matter is involved, but Black Lives Matter is a formulation of multiple organizations that was already doing civil rights and doing all kind of activists for gay rights and a whole bunch of other issues that they was tackling, and they was all different groups. So what they did was they started tackling black issues and called it Black Lives Matter. So now, that seems all genuine. But what we really got is a movement that don't do nothing for the black communities, a movement that's based off of propaganda, and what it's turned into is a vehicle for and a voice to be pushed in front of topics and issues that face the black communities. So Black Lives Matter is not good for black people, and you shouldn't be teaching your kids that, yeah, Black Lives Matter. That's false. You understand what I mean? Black Lives Matter is funded by millionaire white philanthropists, and and they serve a purpose for their protests. So that's why you see Black Lives Matter is basically playing a political position for the Democratic Party. Okay, if Black Lives Matter was really not a political movement for the rich to try to steal black votes, then why is not Black Lives Matter that's Republican? Why every last Black Lives Matter protest and movement is for the Democrats? It just shows you that this is a script. So when you see people out there saying, yeah, Black Lives Matter, the big black guys are standing out there in all black walking around, those dudes is probably paid actors. They not community organizers. They not from the neighborhoods. Now, they probably from the neighborhoods, but they not active in their neighborhoods. They actually paid to be there to represent Black Lives Matter. And then you'll notice that they show these specific camera angles where they just showed a couple black people. But if you really look through the crowd, there's a whole bunch of white people behind them. And these are most likely liberals, because what the liberals do is the liberals like to come and help out the minorities in an effort to steal their votes. You understand what I mean? So what the liberals and the Democrats do is they support your effort and your struggle, especially in election season, and then they pull a plug on you. Did y'all see that interview that Joe Biden just had when he was talking to his black constituents that basically lobby for him to be president? You heard all of the foul language he was using and how he was talking down to them. That just shows you how the liberals do. You understand what I'm saying? So Black Lives Matter technically is not for black people. It's not pro-black. It's not national. It's not nationalism. It's not black nationalism. If Black Lives Matter was for the black people, it will be black nationalism, and it will be split between both parties, and it will be segregated to the black people only specifically. So what we got here is a movement that they're using to steal votes and to keep our people in confusion. You understand what I mean? And all of these people that play high positions in these Black Lives Matter committees are basically placed in position to lead our people astray, while the same BS keeps continuing on and continuing on. And One thing that I want to close with, far as Black Lives Matter, they think to defund the police is a horrible thing that they're trying to do to the black community. Basically, instead of them trying to lobby against gun violence in the community with the minorities, they lobbying to defund the police, and the police was keeping the crimes down to a minimum, the shootings down to a minimum. So the closer we get to this Joe Biden fake presidency and the chaos, you notice that the police departments are not actually working how they usually work. But technically, if you look at that interview, that leaked information from Biden, he was telling you that he promised these people and these group organizers that he was going to defund the police. That don't make sense. I don't even know why black people would want to do that, knowing all of the gun violence that goes on in the black communities. So the only thing this gonna do with what basically what this is gonna do is cause more gun violence in the urban communities and the black communities. And I couldn't figure out what liberals get out of that. But that's the liberals' game plan. They basically walking the blind